y'all. It's kind of weird though, because it's like time traveling. It's December 30th, but by the time you see this, it will be 2024. So I hope it was fantastic to y'all. I realized that my hair does look a little crazy. Just go with it. Also, I'm in my glitter era. Glitter makes me happy, so just let me enjoy my glitter. Also, still have glitter on the fingernails, so we're trying new things. Wanting to do a video like this for a while, so I just decided to go ahead and take the plunge and do it. So we're going to reflect back on my comment section from 2023. There were some doozies, and some of y'all are unhinged. Also, some of y'all are just amazing and fantastic, and I love you so much. So since we have quite a few comments to go through, we're just gonna jump right in. Starting off with this comment from Susan. She is a retired ICU, ER, flight nurse, paramedic. So apparently Susan just did all the things. But beyond all human comprehension, you survived. Every person in the pre-hospital setting, EMS, fire, law enforcement, need to hear your story. You have the unique opportunity to change hearts, as we, myself included, in the medical field become jaded. You are a beacon of light. Shine on. First of all, thank you, Susan. But I really like this comment because it tells me that what I set out to do is working, and one of my goals was to, and you've probably heard me say it over and over again, but one of my goals with documenting these things on YouTube was to bridge that gap a little bit as much as possible between healthcare providers and patients. And with my unique experience, my medical background, what I am trying to say is thanks, and I'm glad that healthcare providers are finding it valuable and can possibly use my experiences to improve their patient care in some way. Also, I think this big hair era has freaked Bailey out because he will not come, since I fixed my hair, he will not come out of the cage. And I don't know if it's the glitter or the hair, but he keeps looking at me very weird. He keeps trying to bite me. So the executive producer is not working today, but he may fly in here. I don't know. We'll see. But that's why Bailey is not in this video. Okay, so we got good comments and we got bad comments. So this is the first negative one. So if you've been on the internet more than 5 minutes, then you know that there are a lot of negative people that like to be horrible on the internet, and I have tried so hard on my channel to be transparent about everything. One of the things that I have been transparent about is my religious deconstruction. And I don't know this person. I don't have to know this person. I don't care to know this person. This person represents thousands of people. This comment was left on a video I did where I was kind of retelling the day of my accident, walking through that day. And there was a part in there where I talked about how I didn't feel any pain when I hit the guardrail. And on this video, this person, I always wonder if that person went to heaven or hell. And I just found that so strange, that your first thought after a fatality or a tragedy, or like of all the things you could have commented or all the things you could think, this person took the time to type this out. And I'm not trying to be dramatic. I know some of y'all are probably rolling your eyes, and you know what? We don't all have to agree. We're not all going to agree on things. That's okay. But this comment gave me the ick. I didn't like it. It just kind of makes me sad. And what also makes me sad is knowing that if I get in a wreck or something happens tomorrow and I'm killed, there's going to be thousands of people talking about how I'm in hell. And that is just incredibly sad to me, and I don't want to dwell on it, but I hope I'm making sense. I hope we're on the same wavelength here. Is this person a horrible person? No. They just, I don't know. I don't really have words. I didn't like it. I just don't think it's very productive, and yeah. So again, on the video where I was retelling the day of my accident, when I got to the point where I was talking about the couple of seconds when I knew that I was going to crash, I knew that I was going to wreck. But then it was like someone turned off a light switch. I have no memory of the impact. I have no memory of feeling pain in that moment or any kind of awareness whatsoever. I only say that not to be dramatic, but I think it is a natural question that people have that I now have an answer to. But also, I think it can provide some comfort to people who have lost loved ones in similar ways. I hesitated because I didn't know how this would be received, but I felt it was important to include in the story. So I'm glad I did. It seemed to have the effect that I was hoping for. I was worried about some blowback from that, but thankfully I don't remember seeing any comment negative about that particular part in the video. But I have gotten so many comments like this one. If you go look at the comment section on this video, there's multiple where people have lost a spouse, a child, a friend, whoever in a similar accident, and they say that my words comforted them. They've always wondered about pain, and comments like these are very, very hard for me to respond to. I'm going to use the word survivor's guilt because I feel that it's applicable, even though in the past when I have used the term survivor's guilt, I have got just ripped apart, like how it was so insensitive to actual people that have like actual survivor's guilt. I think the people that would get so offended when I used that term, maybe they were in like a car accident where they survived, but the person they were with didn't, and so they have survivor's guilt, and I totally get that. But it's also, in my opinion, applicable to my situation because I survived something that most people don't. Not only did I survive it, but I got most of my function back. And I get comments like these all the time of people who lost somebody to the same injury or something similar. And after time, after you get so many of these comments, it's heavy and it makes me slightly guilty. There is a little bit of survivor's guilt that I lived and all of these other people didn't. Your family members didn't live. And I'm so sorry for that. And I just don't know how to respond to those comments other than I'm just incredibly, incredibly sorry. And I hope that in some way I can use what happened to me for good. That's what I would like to do somehow, some way. And for all of the people in my comment section that have told me that they have lost somebody and they're glad to know that I didn't have any pain and I wasn't aware. I'm just sending you all so much love, as much as possible, to a stranger on the internet. I don't take it lightly. I don't take it for granted, and I'm just incredibly sorry for all of your losses. But I am glad that by telling that part of my story helped you in some small way. Okay. I know I told y'all that I was going to hide the identity of these people, but this one I'm not, because the username, I have no idea who this person is. Their real name is not used, so I don't think it matters. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I did block this person, so I don't think the comments still appear, but I did take screenshots. I think this one takes the cake for the most unhinged person in my comment section. So when I go into my creator studio on the back end of YouTube and I go to the latest comments section, it just shows the latest comments in order. It doesn't matter which video they were on. So Can't Stand It Anymore found my channel apparently and started watching videos, and every video that she would watch, she would leave a comment. So when I went into the creator studio, I saw like the 6 or 7 comments on different videos all at the same time, and this person's a little bit unhinged, but it was entertaining. So the first one where she's given the eye roll and God doesn't exist, that was on a video where we were headed to Florida on a camping trip and we blew all 4 tires. I have no idea what her comment has to do with that video, but that was the first one. And then the next one, I cannot stand it when somebody says, I feel sorry for you. Don't feel sorry for me. I don't want your sympathy. Do you think that you are representing Christianity? I just can't help but wonder if people, when they leave comments like this, what is their goal? Because if their goal is to like be welcoming and like, no, they're just condescending and rude. So I don't know. I bet this has never once worked for her. This one was like the most unhinged and just baffles me. The way you come off trying these goodies that some stranger took the time to send you from far away is so wrong and unappreciative. God, girl, can't you just pretend to be thankful? Well, that stranger from far away, her name is Rachel from London, and I talked to her today. We talk very frequently. She sends me lots of pictures of her mother's dog, Sam Winston. I love this dog. I get tons of pictures of him. And Rachel and I have chatted about lots of different things. She and I have actually chatted a lot on politics and the Israel-Gaza conflict because it's very insightful for me to talk to somebody in London and kind of, it's just interesting to me to... The discussions we have are very interesting to me, and part of the fun of her sending us those goodies was that she knew some of them would be weird. That's the point. Rachel was not offended, so I don't know why Can't Stand It Anymore is so offended, but I can't stand you anymore. Like, you are insufferable. Those faces I made are mean and off-putting. Well, Sandra, I have resting bitch face, okay? I've had it since I exited my mother's womb. I'm sorry that you don't like my face. I have a feeling I wouldn't like yours either. I just don't understand how you think you've survived this ordeal and don't have faith. Wow, I don't need you to understand. Another one. You are the weirdest person I've ever subjected myself to listening to. You are very self-absorbed, for sure, now that your mother-in-law is where you want her. Incapacitated. Wow, just weird. Afraid to change adult diapers, and you are a paramedic by career? Okay. Remember the people who did that for you? Do you listen to yourself on these videos? If not, you should. You aren't my cup of tea. No values, no moral, no faith, no soul, and into Frankenscience. Bye. Thinking 2 men can procreate, weirdo. When did I ever say that? That's just so irrelevant, it's absurd. But not that I owe this person anything, but the ones that have been here, y'all know the mother-in-law situation. That was a hard situation for her, for us. It was awful. I don't wish it on anybody. We miss her. It was torture watching what happened to her. And I guess Can't Stand It Anymore didn't watch the video where I talked about how grateful I am to the people who changed my diapers and how that was so helpful for me when it was time to do that with my mother-in-law. I was able to change her diapers, many diapers, and it was not an issue, but I didn't know before I did it how it would be. You don't know how you're going to handle that until you have to handle it. Luckily, I I surprised myself and was able to handle it. But obviously this person doesn't know shit about that. The no values, no morals, no faith, no soul. I would venture to say that the people that actually know me would disagree with that. I think Can't Stand It Anymore is a vile human being and a waste of oxygen. Not really. That was mean. Not a waste of oxygen. I don't wish this person to cease to exist, but I wish we could. I don't know what I wish. I don't know that anybody has ever changed their mind from a comment section on social media. So there's no hope for this person. I don't wish this person any harm, but I think that this is a vile, disgusting human being. Apparently, I have also failed the test. Examine myself. Lady, go back and read the comments that you left on my page and tell me again who has failed. And I'll let y'all go look up Ezekiel 23:20 if you would like to. I like the flames on this comment. What do you think that means? Do you think it means that she's glad that in her world that she thinks I'm gonna burn in hell? It's like a taunt, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting behavior. I can't imagine how this person is in person. Not somebody I would associate with at all. Can you tell I'm excited? I've said this so many times, but these are a lot of times my favorite comments. When somebody comments about my editing, I get so excited. I don't know why, but it makes me so happy, because when I started on YouTube, I knew nothing. So I have tried so hard with each video to improve something, and I feel like for the most part I have done that. None of my videos are perfect. They all have something that frustrates me, but I have learned so much, and I have really enjoyed learning the art of video editing. Not that I am by any means considering myself professional, but I've learned enough to be able to create what I'm trying to create, and that makes me really happy. I get so freaking excited when somebody notices something different in editing or something that I've gotten better at, and those just make me so happy. Y'all may think I'm weird, but
thank you for holding. Someone will be right with you.
I have worked very hard learning how to edit videos. I watch a ton of Final Cut Pro tutorials, and I watch different YouTube channels, and I may not even particularly care for the subject matter, but I will look at how they're edited and take bits and pieces from different channels that I like. And yeah, so thank you for all the people that leave amazing comments when you notice that my editing has gotten better. That makes me so happy. I know, I'm really weird. It's little things sometimes. So here's another one. I find these type of comments just so strange. It is so strange to me that there are so many people out there. How many people are on our planet now? I have to Google. Hey Siri, how many people are there on the planet Earth? There are over 8 billion people on this planet, and so many different religions. But there's some people that just refuse to accept that fact, and they think that everybody should be like them and believe what they do. And I just, if I was religious and I wanted to talk about that, that's fine, but I'm not, and I'm sorry that my videos are not giving that to you. If that's the type of content that you want, you're not going to find it here. I'm transparent. I'm truthful, a lot of times to my own detriment. Every single time I post a video where I address this at all, I lose subscribers every single time. But I'm not going to be something that I am not for views. Also, something I forgot to state earlier, when I get negative comments, sometimes I ignore them, sometimes I troll them, sometimes I try to maybe get them, sometimes I actually try to have a dialogue. And honestly, it just depends on the mood that I'm in that day, and it depends on how many bad comments I've gotten. There's a lot of factors that go into my response or lack thereof. So if you see me get snarky with somebody, then yeah, I do. I do troll people. I do get snarky, and I do ignore and block. It just is all very dependent on how I'm feeling that day. I'm not saying that I'm proud of it or that I'm, right for doing that. But, I've used this analogy before. You can only pull the dog's tail so many times before that dog bites. So if I bite, somebody has just pulled my tail one too many times. And no, that's not an accurate representation of the way I treat people day in and day out. But eventually I'm going to get tired of my tail being pulled and I'm going to bite. So if you see me bite in the comment section, you're welcome to call me out, but I'm sorry, I'm not perfect. I am flawed. I have emotions and I get fed up from time to time. And then there's other days where it just completely does not bother me at all, and I forget about it instantly. I also have several moderators on this page, so they may remove a comment or block somebody and I won't even know about it, and that's fine with me. I don't have to know. I love this comment. This whole comment and the thread was so sweet. I'm so glad I ran across it when I was going through comments for this video. But back in our early days on YouTube, the first few videos, we got so many, but so many comments like this were left, and I think it's really sweet, and I'm so glad that people noticed it. And yeah, we have a great relationship. I am so freaking lucky to have someone in my life that loves me the way that man does. And I'm tearing up. I am an incredibly lucky wife. So I'm not going to read out loud this whole interaction. You're welcome to pause and read if you would like. But the reason that this made the list is because I feel like my boundaries get disrespected a lot, which I know is going to happen. I know it's not a perfect world, and I know that. But ideally, if someone kind of lays it out there and lays out their reasons why and asks you nicely to respect that, most decent people would respect a boundary. But there's so many people that don't. And this is just kind of an example of that. I, told her I didn't ask. I don't want your spiritual advice, or, so I said, so please stop. And then they just keep going. And this was not the only interaction. There was more. I ended up having to block this person too. So yeah, this day I was apparently feeling a little snarky. I have told you to stop, yet the concept of consent eludes you. You can pray all you want. I don't give a what you do as long as you disappear. That was Christy on a snarky day. That was Christy who's had her tail pulled one too many times and bit. So this is a creator on TikTok. I cannot remember her actual name. I'm not even sure if she said it, but I've watched a lot of her videos, and if you're interested in the origins of the Bible and all of those things, she is so intelligent. I don't remember specifically what her degree is in, but she has basically spent her whole life as a theologian. She's very knowledgeable. I have followed a lot of knowledgeable people. One of my favorites is Sam Harris. He's the first person that used the term secular humanist, which is now what I identify as, but I can't remember what she says her religious beliefs are, but she doesn't identify as Christian, but I think she is a deist. She's not atheist, she's a deist. I can't remember the specifics. Anyways, I found this video very interesting.
Yeah, you're mathing right, okay? Hell does not enter the English lexicon until 750 AD. It was an Old Norse word, short for Helheim. And Helheim is where Norse people believe you go when you die if you are not a warrior. Warriors go on to Valhalla. Everybody else goes to Helheim. And sometimes they shorten that and say hell with one L. But it is a concept of eternal rest, no punishment. And the goddess that governs Helheim is also called Hel, H-E-L. But as an English word, it hits our lexicon at about 750 AD. And since they created the word, they created the definition. And since they created the definition, they created the concept of a place of eternal punishment. And then in 1150 AD, the word heaven enters the English lexicon. They created the word, and since they created the word, they created the definition. And since they created the definition, they created the concept of a place of eternal reward. Not words until hell, 700 years after Jesus dies, and heaven, 1100 years after Jesus dies. They were not concepts at the time of Christ, because when they created the words and defined them, they then created the concept. Does that make sense? Even if they were words and concepts at the time of Christ, they would not have been concepts for Christ, because Jewish people don't believe in heaven or hell. They believe as the Norse do. You go on to a place of rest, and for the Jewish people, that is called Sheol. So the fact that Jesus says the word heaven and says the word hell tells you right away somebody added those words, put those words in his mouth. They put hell in his mouth in 750 AD, and they put heaven in his mouth in 1150 AD. He never would have spoken on words that do not exist, concepts that do not exist. And even if they did, they weren't concepts for him. He was Jewish. So yeah, somebody else with an ulterior motive put the words heaven and hell in the Bible. And it really says a lot about Christians, that first they create a word for eternal punishment and damnation. 400 years before, they create a word defined as a place of eternal reward and paradise. They wanted to scare people, get them back in the pews, and get them back tithing. And first they needed to do it through fear, hell. And then when they needed to do it again, through enticement, heaven. Your math is right.
There's also another creator on TikTok and on YouTube. Her name is Christy Burke. I also love her content. So any of you that are interested in kind of the journey of deconstruction, the thought process, these are great people to follow. I don't want that to be my channel. That is part of who I am, but I don't have the patience and the demeanor to make that my whole channel. So happy to give recommendations to people who are interested in that content, but I did just want to include this video because I thought it was very interesting. But her videos are so insightful. Her intelligence amazes me. She also has cancer, has been going through chemo, and I believe she's also had an aneurysm. So she's having some health problems. I did see where she has a GoFundMe, so just throwing that out there. But she seems like a genuinely good person. So this comment was left on the tornado video I did, where I again explained the mass casualty and how that impacted my deconstruction. Anyways, I took a portion of that and made it into a short, and that's where this comment came from. I was just gonna ignore it because whatever, but I'm not gonna read this whole thing. But when I tell you I was floored at Todd Douglas Fox, I read his response to this person and I was just so incredibly floored. I don't know if he will see this video, but wow, what an incredibly insightful response. And in my defense, I will get emotional, I will start tearing up again, but it blew me away because sometimes it can be incredibly difficult and incredibly lonely because There are so many times I feel like I'm just on this island by myself because of where I live and who I'm surrounded with. But I see other creators who are so open about their religious deconstruction, and I see all the support, and they have these large platforms, and it is just wild to me because it seems like anytime I talk about it or post about it at all, no matter how diplomatic I try to be, I lose subscribers and people really get upset. But again, that's who I am. You can force someone to comply, but you can't force someone to believe something that they don't. The only way I've ever really been able to explain it is, and this came from Sam Harris, the only difference between me and this person and Can't Stand It Anymore is that I believe in one less God than they do. You don't believe in the Hindu gods or the Greek gods or whoever. I also don't believe in those. I just believe in one less than you do. So, okay. Back to good comments. I loved this comment. It made me so happy. I have people on here that follow for the crochet content. Unfortunately, I have not been able to put out a whole lot of that. I have not been able to crochet since September, early October. I have been so busy with putting out videos and editing and all of that I have not been able to crochet, and I really miss it. I'm ready to start a project of some sort. But when she said that she wanted to try mosaic crochet and that this inspired her, that made me really happy. And my friend Mary on here, she had never done mosaic crochet, saw my skeleton table runner, and I sent her the pattern, and she has made her own skeleton runner. She did her first mosaic crochet project, and we would message back and forth when she would have a problem. I would help her through it, but she did it, and that's so cool that she did that, and so exciting that I could inspire somebody to try something new that they had not tried before. So thank you. So this comment was left on a short I did where I was feeling goofy that day, okay? I'm a snarky, sarcastic, goofy person, and people in my comment section keep pulling my tail, right? So I was ready to bite that day, and I just thought it was funny. In a dress with my house shoes, a huge, ridiculous hat, on a freaking tricycle, and it's funny. It's funny. If the middle finger is childish, then I'm childish, but what is funny about this person has changed her username. So the username on YouTube used to be her first and last name. Well, I recognized it because I had seen on Facebook where that person was following me. So I knew that she was following me in both places. I just happened to recognize the name. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But so I took a screenshot of this comment and I posted it on Facebook and tagged her in it. Which, is just my way of saying like, hey, was that childish? Yeah. Was it funny? Yeah. But then I clicked on her Facebook profile and see where she posted this. The irony. So I guess this is only applicable when it pertains to her feelings and not comments that she leaves to other people. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I can't remember if I blocked her or not. No, I don't think I did block her I didn't block her because when I was getting these comments ready to film this video, I went to her Facebook page. So her YouTube username is now different and her Facebook last name is now different. So she has since changed all of that. And of course, I had to include this little gem from someone calling me fat. Why, Thank you. What in the world, 99? You know, it's funny you say that because I've been working really hard to munch on better choices so that I can lose a little weight after, almost dying multiple times after I was internally decapitated. But if I ever need advice on how to be a loser on the internet, I will certainly hit you up. And I meant every word of it. So if you don't know already, I've started a group on Facebook called the LTM Network. Basically, it's an extension of the community on this page. It's a place where we can all chat in a easier group virtual setting. It's kind of hard to do that on a YouTube page, but if you're interested, I will have all of that information in the description. We recently did a fundraiser for a member who is going through cancer and some other health issues. So that was really great. Thank you for everybody. Thank you to everybody for your participation in that. It all started because I talked to so many different people, and one of the girls that I talked to, Jessica, has spina bifida, and then there was another girl, Miranda, that I found out also had spina bifida, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool to connect these two people? And that's what gave me the idea. So now we have a group where all of you can also meet each other, and I can kind of connect you all with each other, which is also super helpful for me because sometimes it can be heavy when people come to you and they tell you, I've got cancer, or I've got this and this, I'm going through this and all of that. So it's really been beneficial to have the support of a group, and I'm really grateful for that. So yeah, let me know what you would like to see in 2024. If you've been on this channel long enough, you know that I have goats because they've been in my other videos. So if you were crazy enough to make it all the way to the end of this video, drop me a goat emoji in the comment section to let me know who my ride or dies are. Happy New Year, everybody, and I will see you all very soon.